I think it's pizza night. I had pizza earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Probably.
I think it is.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to click over the screen, so I need to be quiet for a second.
Yep, I am doing the shares. Share. Let's see. Elkrack is live now. Let me see if Elkrack's live. We're live.
Well, I see that Dancy Bear's live.
I see the Dancing Bear's also live.
Yeah, exactly.
Prove there's life.
I know. So this is the time, guys. If you could share with your friends.
Hurrah, I'm about to share.
Share because you care.
Absolutely. Okay, let me type in, we are live for this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. Tonight, cover
See,
the history and how to make. Can't type where the darn. Oh, like arrowheads.
this is like how it is every time, guys. We always talk about this
No.
next topic.
And I look at what I type and I'm like, how did I do that? I make spell check explode.
I know, and I like click all the people, and I'm like, I wonder if these people appreciate or they do or they don't want to be included in this, because it's a lot of random stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Let's see here. Candace, Cheyenne, Cassie. See, I was looking at all my peoples, my friends.
I'm doing a share.
Let's see.
Share.
There's Richard, and see who else would be interested in this. Maybe Shawnee.
Feed.
Shawnee, Candace. Whoop, not Shalou. I didn't mean to click Shalou. Let's see. Shawnee, Candace. See,
Yeah, we got a few people watching over here. We got a few handful going on.
yeah.
I see that Carrie's on there. Hello, Carrie Redhouse.
Yes. Hey, Carrie.
How's it going? We say we are doing just awesome tonight. We're learning about sharp, pointy objects.
Yes, this is totally like a major deal, guys. We're gonna be talking about arrowheads.
Arrowhead, stone points.
I know everyone has been waiting for this episode.
Absolutely. You know, I'm looking, and do you have subtitles on your feed for Dancing
Yes,
Bear? I have it on Elkrack and Dancing Bear.
Yes, I see subtitles. That means everyone.
Let's test how accurate it is. How now, brown cow jumped over the moon in a silver bucket. Let's see if it gets it right. We got about 10 seconds till it comes on.
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Brown cow jumped over the. Yeah, I got it.
You know what? I wonder, does it know the word
I was
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
totally about to say that.
Let's see.
Let's see if it comes up.
Yay!
Super calf.
Yay! Our Light Night Craft Talk captioning machine is actually doing pretty good tonight.
Yeah, Facebook. All right, let me try one. Let's do a few seconds here and I'll do it. Mecca lecca hi, Mecca lecca Heidi ho. Let's see what we got.
No, kinda, not really.
No, but it's got Heidi in there. It's translating into German.
Yeah. Hi, Maya.
Heidi.
We have Maya watching. Yay, Maya.
Somebody that may be hearing impaired, look at that going, are they talking about German names?
Oh my goodness.
Multi-native crowd. All right. Well, hello, Maya, the president of the Friday Ninja Monster Hunter Squad is on.
Yeah, make sure you guys share our videos so you guys can watch and share your fun adventures tonight with all
your Svea will buy you a puppy.
Uh-oh.
Or not.
James was buying a puppy this week.
Nope, not my turn. Last week was my turn.
Last week was
if
my
we forgot to mention it last week, whoopsie, but you have to keep your word.
What? What the heck?
What the heck? What?
What the heck?
Oh, I forgot to do the countdown.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, let me take care of that.
James, what the heck? You forgot to.
I failed. We're about 5 minutes out, so I'm going to take it to 5 minutes. Let's go right Okay, we're at 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we're at
Keith
9:58.
Svea, this is what you get for hiring from Craigslist. How many times have I told you?
Yeah.
How many
Oh,
times?
you guys would love this. My camera's off, but the cat is in the camera.
In the camera?
Yeah, he's like in the. You guys will get a full view of a cat.
Hoorah, I guess.
Yeah, the doggies are all here. The kitties here.
So, folks, if you don't, we're going to give a little primer for tonight. We're going to be talking about such things as throwing spears.
Yes.
You can throw with a paddle. It's actually called an atlet, which is a throwing arrow. It's like 5-6 feet long, fairly thin shaft, and it predates the bow and arrow. It's the original bow and arrow way. And you have the atlatl, which is the thrower, and you've got this little groove notch at the end of the arrow, the throwing arrow that's super long. It's got some fletching, and you got this paddle in it. You throw it, and that, like I said, predates the bow and arrow, and you get a pretty long range with it. It's basically you give yourself an extra 3 foot of arm for throwing a little, skinny spear.
Yeah.
A little primer there, and what's some other things here? Primers for darts. Did you know Americans have low darts? Did you know that, Svea?
Yes.
Yep. Southeastern tribes. My nation does them.
I know everything. Okay.
Everything. Svea is going to impress you with her knowledge of points.
Yes. Yes.
This is like the guys that don't know cars go with sharp, pointy objects, and like that's me.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
couldn't tell you the difference between a Dodge Viper and a Ford Pinto. No, I'm not that bad, but yeah, I'm not real versed.
Yeah. So tonight's going to be a very cool informational show. You guys are going to learn a lot of interesting stuff.
Yep. 2 weeks ago we had STEM. We were talking about rockets and spacecraft, and today we're talking about shiny, sharp rocks.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like the extremes that we go.
It is, and tonight's kind of a gateway episode to next week.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is? What's happening next week? I don't know.
The bling bling show.
I have no idea what that
The
means.
bling bling rocks, minerals.
Oh yeah, huh? You're right. I totally.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
We're doing that theme
so
show
much,
next
guys.
week without giving away the ghost too much to our audience.
Yeah, we are doing such amazing shows. You guys are not going to want to miss out the next couple weeks.
Yep. Maya says, I will share. Awesome. Wendy Hodge says, "Nee, the cat's in the cradle."
Neat.
Nee, is that nee? Wendy, tell us, is that nee? Like is in the nights that say nee?
Neat. No.
No. It's nee or
No.
icky whopping dine.
No.
That's why they changed the nights that say nee, changed their names to the nights that say icky pong. They demanded shrubbery.
See, the knights are crying right now.
No, that's Princess Leia saying, "Pet me, please." I'm gonna go grab some water. Are you good?
No, that's
All right. Can you keep the audience entertained for 1 minute?
that's a very naughty doggy right now.
Yeah,
naughty
naughty
doggy.
dog. I'm gonna go refill my water. I'm almost dry. I can't starve to death.
Okay, guys, James left. So what prank should we play on him? Because he won't know. Guys, put it in the chat of what prank we should play on him. He's not looking at my chat. So if you're watching on Dancing Bear, you can chat on Dancing Bear. He's not watching my chat, guys. So you know. Let's come up with a prank for James. Because he always makes a big old prank about me. Like, he's like, oh, where's your other shoe, Svea? You should ask James. Oh, you know what you should ask James about pie. You should ask him about pie, guys, okay? Ask him about pie. Okay. Yeah, so, oh my gosh, it's only 50 seconds, James. You better hurry
I'm
up.
almost ready. I didn't hear anything that you said to the audience because you don't pull it as good as I do.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we ready for countdown, folks? We've only got 20 seconds to go.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy, huh? Can you believe this time? It always goes so fast here.
It really does.
It always just confuses me how fast it goes. I'm like, what? It's already time?
All right, get ready for countdown. Let's alternate between us. We're 10, 9, 8. Here we go. Ready, Svea? Start us off.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2, What?
Showtime. It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Svea Kamori Yang and James Hermes. On this week's show, To the Point, a short history of stone tools and arrowheads in North America. Why did the archaeologist hate his life? Because his career was in ruins. It's time to start the show. What is up with that volume?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Which one's Svea?
Well,
They both have the eyes and the stare, but which one's Svea? You're confusing me.
it's so funny. She's just looking right at the camera. She's like, "Hey everyone, what's up? I'm the new
I think
host.
Svea's on the right.
I'm the new host of Late Night Craft Talk."
I think it's on the right. Yep, the head disappeared because of the purpleness. The other one, it's a ventriloquist, and the other one is fake Svea.
It's so funny. She's just looking right at the camera. That's hilarious.
She's kind of like, what? Tripping.
She's just hanging out. She's like, "This is cool."
She looks tired.
She always does his face, so she's like,
I guess so. All right, let's get it started. So, why do we do late night craft talks today?
"Oh yeah, you're right, huh?" Okay, so hey guys, welcome to our show. If you haven't watched our show before, welcome. We do this show every week on Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live or pre-recorded. Mostly we try to do live. Sometimes it's pre-recorded just because we have to go do shows and stuff. But hey, we're here for you. We're here to entertain you. We're here to educate you. We're here to basically make your Friday nights wonderful. So make sure that you click down below, like and subscribe to our Facebook channels and our YouTube channels. Yes. So James, hey, what's happening in Elk Rock this week?
Oh, we're back to Palm Springs Village Fest going once a week. There was a little bit of rain during there in December. We had to miss a couple of weeks, but we're back. We are getting ready for a time when we will be at Dancing Bear and Elk Rock. We'll both side by side. You will find us at the Suboba Per Cap this Thursday.
Yes, we're going to be at the Per Cap. Woo-hoo.
Yes, and that's going to be awesome. We're going to be side by side. You can see Svea and I both in the same place. Unfortunately, the website's still down. I'm still fighting with the company on SSL, and it's going to come to a head this weekend. It's got to be covered. Then I can start getting stuff up there because I'm getting emails from people asking, "Dude, when's your site back up?" I'm like, believe me, I'm working on it. It's turned into an epic. It's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, so a little break. I got some cool stuff to show on the Elk Rock website of a river trip last weekend, but I'll get into that as soon as we hear about the cool stuff at Dancing Bear.
James, really quick, you should give everyone your personal phone number so they can place call and order you every minute of the day, 24/7.
Let me get that number up right now because that is actually a really good idea.
555.
No. I'm about to post the real number. It's gonna be 760 715
5555.
I was about to give your phone number.
You know what? If you gave my number, I'd say, "Oh, this is Elk Rock. Okay, what's your credit card? Okay, we'll charge you $1,000."
I tell us a Google Voice.
My email is info@elkrocktrainers.com.
I would totally set up a Google Voice and say Dancing Bear when they come up and go, "Hey, this is Dancing Bear.
Oh,
Where we don't sell beads.
oh my goodness. Terrible.
We don't sell beads.
You're terrible.
The bear is actually British."
Princess Leia does not approve. She's looking away from you right now, and she's making her head disappear.
I'm looking away from you.
She's like, "I'm looking away."
I am too.
She's,
All right.
You guys don't even know how happy she is. She's sitting here with me doing the show. She's like,
Does she know how to use her legs?
She actually does, but she prefers to sit on my lap or have me hold her.
All right, because you're like that guy, that bad guy from James Bond from Spectre, who's always petting the cat. And if you set the cat down, the cat's like, "I don't know how to walk or stand."
Yeah, and then she gets up and she starts walking around like blocking the camera.
The camera
Right now.
camera. We
Yeah.
could do a proctology exam with your dog right now in the webcam.
Okay. All right.
Okay. What's going on with Dancing Bear?
Yes. So, Dancing Bear. This is funny, right? This is hilarious. Like Princess Leia is just walking around in front of my camera. Okay. Sit down, Princess Leia. Okay. So, this week at Dancing Bear, we sent out a whole bunch of packages to all of the CDCR locations in California that has a Native spiritual leader. So, that was pretty cool. And we got our first order last week. So, it's a little bit of a learning curve. We're getting it, we're figuring it out. So, we sent out catalog sheets and we sent out order forms and we sent out color cards. So it's pretty cool. We're getting there. So that was what we're working on this week. And let me think, anything else? We did if you guys get a chance on Thursdays, we do our live every Thursday at 2 p.m. And I changed the name of it to Dancing Bear Weekly Update. And every week, I'm going to show you some new products that come in. I'm going to show you how to use some new products or teach you something interesting. This last live that we did, I showed people what the basics of a jewelry making toolbox or a beader's toolbox should have in regards to tools, and talked about like what kind of tools, like how they work. So actually, I also showed you guys how to make earrings. So that was pretty cool. So every week I'm doing that kind of thing at 2 p.m. on Thursdays. And this Thursday coming up is going to be kind of a little unique because we're going to be in Saboba. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. We'll see.
Technology and miracles and magic.
Yes.
A bit of Hogwarts and a bit of science.
Yes.
So I tried doing a live yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I was going to do, I do this thing every so often called It's a Knife Day today, go work on one of my knives.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm setting it up where I'm going to stream. I set up because I run it through OBS, open source broadcasting. When it goes right, you got the cool graphics, looks really professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this thing where it's downloaded on one of my old phones that acts as called Stream Remote, that acts as a remote for OBS. You can set up the scenes, you just press a button and opening credits and all that. So I set it up and got it going on and I'm streaming through the GoPro. It's really cool. I mean, it's overly I make it overly complex, but it just does cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it works. So I bust one of the grinding wheel and went, well, let me change that out. And I take this little like screw thing that unscrews the Dremel cutoff wheel. Well, it's metal. And my phone that was the remote, the touchscreen, the response to human touch or anything that conducts electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it. I set the screw down. I don't realize it's on the phone. And it presses the end screen.
Yeah.
I've got the end screen holding on for anywhere from probably a minute to 4 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm like commenting on the GoPro. And I look over the screen for comments and I went, why is the end screen there? Crud. I look at the phone, the metallic thing hit the end screen. I'm going, well, there's another learn because it's a learning experience. I tell people this is new to me. Where there's going to be maybe mistakes every time we do. We'll find new ones, but it kind of gets smoother. Mm-hmm. Well, don't put something metal conductive on your touch screen remote for OBS and look more often.
Yes.
Whoopsie.
Yes.
So learned right there.
Just a little bit.
Other than that, I think, should I tell the Eagle story from last weekend?
Well, sure.
All right. So folks, last weekend I was on the river. That just is so rare with me.
You know what? You're never on the river, James.
Never. Well, I want to be on the river, not in the river. So last weekend I'm paddling my kayak on a 3-day, 34-mile trip with one of our former guests on our show, Helen Howard. And we're in Imperial National Wildlife Refuge between Blythe and Yuma. And this is a great area because this is where the eagles that come down from like Canada and Alaska come winter out. We're going to see eagles. We counted 9 eagles, 4 osprey, 3 hawks, coyote, 5 raccoons, and a beaver. But what's amazing is we're only 2 miles into the trip. We're starting to get that territory. And so he goes, what's that big thing in the tree? It's this cottonwood tree on the California side. And I look over and went, is that a beehive? It's heavy. It's making the branch bend down. I get over there. It is this huge golden eagle. Unfortunately, I don't have any good pictures, but this huge golden eagle. Normally, when they see it, they're not much for people. They just fly off, and you're like, "Dang, that thing's big." This eagle's just chilling, like he's just chilling, and we're like 30 feet from this thing.
Wow.
It's huge. This thing's got to be 25-pounder.
Yeah.
And it's like looks over, kind of like, "What's up, dude? Chill." Okay. And we're like, he's staying there. This eagle's got to be the most chill eagle. Just
Wow.
like I call him Surfer Eagle. He was so laid back.
Wow.
And I'm like, and we're like, we're close. We're like, holy cow. And then like a mile later, we see two bald eagles on a sandbar that are, because it's mating season. And then we're cruising by, and then all of a sudden they take off, kind of like, "Dude, you killed the mood, man. You're like the third wheel." But a big stark difference from that first golden eagle going, "Sup, dude?" It was just, it was trippy. But it was just that golden eagle. We're like, dude, you're not wound up, because they're highly wound creatures. All right.
So, hey, James, I want to tell you something you don't know about me. Do you know that my high school mascot is a golden eagle? So I'm really a golden eagle.
I thought it was an aardvark.
No.
I never asked. Well, it's better than mine. Ours is a Raja that's considered, well, I'll just say it doesn't go well with political correctness now.
All I have to say is I'm a golden eagle. So anyway, okay.
I'm going to tell this story, and I'm going to paraphrase it to make it look cleaner.
Okay.
Why does an eagle walk?
Why does an eagle walk?
Why does an eagle walk?
Because it can.
Because it's so full of crap it can't fly. Folks, take that nickname. Look for somebody that boasts a lot. Call them Walking Eagle. All right.
Oh, terrible.
No.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, let's go forward, because that was just killed it. That was.
I love it.
That was
all right. Let's get started with the subject of the show tonight, folks. Let's get to the point.
What's the subject of the show, James?
The subject is, let's take a look on tonight's show, To the Point, a short history of arrowheads and stone tools in North America.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Gonna be awesome. And that picture's original. I took one of my obsidian points, my knife blades, and some deer antler, and Hyde went, "Let's make a cool picture." Which is this one?
Yeah.
You didn't make it as your background.
No, I just needed to do purple today.
You always do purple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adaptable to the show's theme, and you're like, purple.
Purple, yes.
Hey, Svea, just tell me about arrowheads.
It just makes me happy.
Did you notice something?
Are you wearing earrings?
I went to a dinner tonight, and the theme was 1970s and 80s, and I went as James Bon Jovi.
Oh, James Bond. Well, you're wearing earrings right now? Oh,
yeah, it's an ear cuff with some abalone hanging down. So I went as James Bon Jovi, and I went like, bandana, like kind of like Steven Tyler with all the bandanas and
the
hair coming down, fancy floppy hat, like you see like rock stars in the 80s wear, the mid 80s. And I wore that as kind of the thing going. I just grabbed it in my inventory, went there, and I was looking at my camera going, "Oh, I still have it on."
See, Patricia says there's nothing wrong with purple. See what I'm saying?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with purple. It's just
Patricia knows.
Always purple.
She knows. Okay, guys. So, stone knives of North America. In North America, North American archaeological terminology, a projectile point is an object that was hafted to a weapon that was capable of being thrown or projected, such as a javelin, dart, or arrow.
So, like throwing arrows, like we were talking about, like the atlatls at the beginning before the show.
Exactly.
Cool.
The original projectile points were made from bone or a hardwood that was grinded into a shape. Over time, the use of shaping stones into a point was developed. Did you know that, James?
They didn't know how to. At the time, they didn't know how to work stones, and so they just used the most material they could find, which explains why you don't find a lot of earlier arrowheads, because they just didn't.
Yeah, and there's termites. There's termites and such.
Got it. Cool.
Very scientific, very scientific. Stone tools, including projectile points, can survive for long periods were often lost or discarded and are relatively plentiful, especially at archaeological sites. They provide useful clues to the human past, including prehistoric trade. A distinctive form of point identified through lithic analysis of the way it was made is often key diagnostic factor in identifying an archaeological industry or culture. So, scientific techniques exist to track the specific kinds of rock or minerals that used to make stone tools in various regions back to their original sources.
So that's pretty cool. So that they can take one arrowhead, the mineral an arrowhead is, trace it back. So like, because I mean, Southern California is a prime example, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no really good arrowhead material in Southern California, especially like San Diego County. So if you find like an arrowhead, it may be chert or obsidian, which means it was traded from like Central California or even Arizona or New Mexico, right?
Because, you know, diamonds are in certain areas, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's North America back in the day had its own version of the Silk Road, right?
It's all trading, yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing a story like macaw feathers from Central America being found in sites in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the old mound builders. I mean, that's really extensive.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So there's different types of projectile points. Slide 1. So this is our first slide. Projectile points fall into general types: dart, javelin, or spear points, and arrow points. Larger points were used to tip atlatl javelins or darts and spears. Arrow points are smaller and lighter than dart points and were used to tip arrows. Projectile points come in an amazing variety of shapes and styles, which vary according to chronological periods, cultural identities, and intended functions.
Okay, I'm digging that. So the different parts. All right. So we're going to see a lot of cool pictures of arrowheads later on, like really cool ones.
Yes,
This is
exactly.
taking a drawn diagram just to give the basic idea of shape what they're about to see.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So we have Clovis points. The oldest stone points in North America are called Clovis points. Clovis points are thin, fluted projectile points created using bifacial percussion flaking. That is, each face is flaked on both edges alternatively with a percussor. Do you want to describe what a percussor is, James?
A percussor is going to be alternatively with a percussor is actually going to be a way to let me show. Oh, come on, backslide.
Sorry.
See this little thing right there that's sticking up?
Yes.
Right about centered. That actually is a lip that is created by the ones that make that flute, that groove up the middle from the bottom up. So from like come on thing, from here up to that point, they actually create a place where they can start napping up to create that groove up there, which is very distinctive and very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're talking about, that lip, the percussor.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can use that lip to start grinding their way up. That's the distinctive part.
Mm-hmm. To finish shaping and sharpening the points, they are sometimes pressure flaked along the outer edges. This is an example of how stone points distinguish a cultural group.
I love that Clovis point. That is so classic.
That's really nice.
Yeah, let me come on, think slide, go.
Okay, here we go. This is a various Clovis points. So these are stone points that date back to 1300 and 1500 years ago. And is that right? 13? This is
13 to 1500 years. 13,000 to 15,000. There were some zeros apparently missing.
Oh yeah, some zeros missing. I was gonna say 1300.
Oh, correct.
Okay.
Anyway.
Years ago, okay, let me start this over. These are stone points that date back to 13,000 and 15,000 years ago and are found in North America as far south as Venezuela. The first documented finding of one was in Clovis, New Mexico, hence they're named Clovis. Clovis points, along with other stone and bone or ivory tools, have been identified in over 24 artifact caches. These caches range from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains and Northwest United States. There was once a fluted obsidian point found in Baja California that was believed to have been collected from an alluvial fan. There have also been Clovis points found in an alluvial fan in the Mojave Desert near 29 Palms, California.
Yeah, matter of fact, one of the people that found that Clovis point, which are very similar to this, but they're made of chert.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the people that was on the archaeological dig, and they found the Clovis, and they're telling me about it, and I'm going, "Oh my god!" It was. I was a kid in a candy store. I got to see one of those Clovis points in the private collection over there. It was found on the Marine Corps base there in 29. What's called the Marine Corps Ground Air Combat Center. God, that's ingrained in me. But to think that thing was probably hunting mammoth is humbling to see it.
Yeah, I've actually never in my lifetime seen or found an arrowhead out and about.
Yeah, I want to address that toward the end of the show on that one too. It's not a cultural thing. Anyway.
Little is known about the people that made the Clovis points, but are believed to be the first distinct cultural groups in North America. For a fun fact, there was once a cache of Clovis points and other stone tools found near Boulder, Colorado. There was a horsehair and a camel hair found in the cache. These animals that roamed North America during the last ice age. These are the animals that during the last ice age. So it's kind of crazy that they found that together.
I mean, yeah, we're talking woolly mammoth, horse, camel. Mm-hmm. Lions were in North America during the ice age. That's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. Folsom points. Is this a Folsom point? No, this is a Clovis.
That's a Folsom. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay. Sorry. Folsom points are a distinct form of napstone projectile points associated with the Folsom tradition of North America. Folsom points are a distinct form of napstone projectile points associated with the Folsom tradition of North America. Diagram of Folsom points. The points are bifacially worked and have a symmetrical leaf-like shape with a concave base and wide, shallow grooves running almost the entire length of the point. The edges are finely worked. The characteristic groove known as fluting may have served to aid hafting to a wooden shaft or dart. Use-where studies have shown that some examples were used as knives as well as projectile points. They're pretty sharp. I think they make pretty good holes in people. What did you say? And other things?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I have last night when I was in Palm Springs, I had a customer going, "Oh, you put arrowheads as knives." I went, actually, because I had a couple that I had obsidian that kind of had the general Folsom shape, but didn't have the flute up the middle. And that thing goes almost all the way up from what you saw. Mm-hmm. That is extremely hard to do. Mm-hmm. But they're going, arrowheads on knives. I went, actually, you're going to have the arrowhead shape on knives as well as arrows, spears, because for a stone point, it's an efficient shape. Mm-hmm. We're not talking machetes and metal blades here. These aren't Bowies or Ginsus. But it's an efficient shape that works for, like I said, using as a knife or spear or an arrow or a hair comb. No, I'm kidding. But it's an efficient shape on that one. That's why they tend to be that same shape around, rough shape around the world at a lot of given times.
Like a wheel.
The wheel is overrated.
Folsom points are found widely across North America and are dated to the period between 9500 BC and 88,000 BC. The Folsom cultural group is considered the second oldest cultural group in North America.
Yeah. There's some archaeologists. I hate talking with archaeologists, like, so I tend to go with tribal tradition. But there's about 300-year point of time, I think, if I'm right. Am I correct? That happened. You had the Clovis, and then the points. You don't find anything younger than like 13,000, 12,000 years ago, and all of a sudden you've got a few hundred years of the Folsom points that are found, and they're actually more widely distributed than the Clovis, if I remember correctly. Am I right? Yes.
Yes, you're always right, James.
Pretty amazing, but it's one of those things that talks about cultural groups. The Clovis were found in some areas, and it's very distinct. They're napping, and it's true of Native peoples around the world. Their material, their methods of doing it. You could say, okay, it's kind of like linguistic groups. You have skill groups that they're able to track, because the language, there's no way to track the language at the time.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
And so they base it off of that, and it's just really interesting. The older arrowheads they base off cultural groups, and as things become more, they may base cultural groups like, say, ancestral Puebloans based off of pottery and weaving techniques, so baskets they found. So that will distinguish a cultural group. And it just, detective work all over.
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
So I just wanted to let you guys know. So when you're watching the show and James starts talking about napping, and I start doing this, I know what napping is, just so you guys know.
It's the difference between an N-A-P-P-I-N-G and K-N-A-P-P-I-N-G.
Yeah.
We'll explain to you what napping is. If you heard the word pressure flake, we'll explain that in a few minutes.
So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that it's intentional to irritate James like sandpaper.
Anybody who does napping and hears a joke, it's kind of like a canoe or hearing, oh, let's hear the banjos. We're like, have to hear that again and again and again.
Okay.
And again.
Yes.
And again. Okay. Tell me about arrowhead shapes.
Types of arrowheads. Did you know that, James?
Do tell us, because you are the knowledgeable one.
I know, right? The most common stone to make arrowheads in North America are quartzite, jasper, quartz, chalcedony, agate, obsidian, chert, petrified wood, and basalt.
Really, basalt too? I always thought it was too fractured. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, what was it? What's it? The metal, that one metal.
Well, I don't know if this is what you're thinking about, but I actually have a friend that she's from Indiana, and she has a bronzed copper axe head. It was made from the copper deposits it was mined from the copper deposits around the Great Lakes. And the way they heated and tempered it, it bronzed it. And it dates from the mound builders from we're talking 1100s AD, which is.
Oh, I know. Cool. I forgot to include it. They also were made out of Bhaskar.
Bhaskar steel? I'm going to take some Bhaskar steel.
Yes, I'm just joking. Okay.
Hit you with the head with that. Bhaskar steel's from Star Wars, folks. That's what the Mandalorian's armor's made of. And lightsabers can't penetrate because it's really dense steel. Not arrowhead material from North America.
I thought Mom would approve that. Okay.
back you with my Uru Mjolnir hammer.
The major or vibranium. Hey, you know what? I bet you they make arrowheads out of vibranium.
Wakanda does.
From Wakanda, for sure. Wakanda forever. Okay. The major types of arrowheads are side notched. Wait, is this the same slide as earlier? Is this supposed to be the same slide?
It's a side notched arrowhead.
Okay, side notched arrowhead. Corner notched. You have a different picture?
There's a corner notch.
Okay, corner notched.
They are distinct.
Straight stemmed. Okay. Contracting stemmed.
Look at the bottom there, folks. That'll tell you the difference.
Yes. And then expanding stemmed.
Right there,
Mm-hmm. Triangular.
which is probably the most primitive type of arrowhead.
Lanceolate.
Kind of similar, but you don't have the flute of the Clovis and the Folsom points.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How to make an arrowhead. I know this is what everyone's been waiting for.
This is where I come in. Okay, it's going to take me a minute to set up for this. I need to sign on to Zoom with my cell phone and go out to where I have the material. Folks, I'm going to show you how to make an arrowhead.
Yes, okay.
This is called napping because you nap the stone. It's chipping because you're napping away at it. I'm going to spend a few minutes. I'm going to show you I'm going to make an obsidian arrowhead. So this is the real hands-on part. So Dave does all the brainy work. James digs the ditch.
Yes. So I'm going to show you guys how to nap.
Give me a minute while I sign on, and you can teach people the first part about napping without the K.
Yes. Okay. You ready, James?
I'm going to go get stuff right now. I'm signing on to Zoom with the cell phone. All right, I'm going to walk away and turn off my camera. You can give them first lesson on napping.
Okay. So guys, the first thing you do about napping is usually get like a pillow and you kind of lay down flat. And usually you kind of lay down flat and kind of just rest yourself at an ankle, and you just rest your head like this and you close your eyes and start to breathe at a slower rate. That's how you start your napping.
I am in the garage.
You are?
I am in the garage. I'm getting ready to set up. Here, let me get the phone mounted. All right, folks. Give me a second here. All right, let me mount it here so I can dip the camera down so you all see it close. This is something hard to do when you need the phone for the signing on.
So okay, guys, let's see what we can find. Okay, there's a kayak.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dip the phone down. I'm gonna switch the camera angle.
There's a table.
Let's bring it down. You're looking at my ceiling right now.
There's a light.
Do you see the light, Svea?
So there's a bar attached to the wall. There's a wire hanging out that might be an electrical hazard. We don't know. There's a finger.
And now we're looking downward. Okay.
Now we're looking at the ground.
And I'm going to bring it down so you can get a good look at what I'm about to do.
And there's lots of wires on the ground that are probably connected and probably are an electrical hazard.
No, they're not really. Okay. First thing I do is I put on, and I'm going to bring the phone down a little bit closer, but first thing, when you do this, because it's sharp, I'm doing this to keep any of the obsidian off my lap. When we get done, usually I nap this over in the side yard, but not going to happen this time. Okay. What you're seeing is that the arrowhead's going to roughly look like this. This is obsidian. Is that coming out okay?
That looks great, James.
Is it a good angle? All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this chunk and we're going to work it. I'm going to use this material. Sometimes if I need a big chunk, I'll use metal, but generally you want to use deer antler, like these chunks right here to do it, because you actually want something softer than the stone because you're doing a controlled fracture of the stone. Let me turn this around right here. And of course, my cat has to come in the garage and start meowing.
Of course.
Perfect timing. So one of the things I'm going to do first is I am going to, because this obsidian, this stuff's nasty, I put on safety glasses to protect my eyes.
That's smart.
As much as Svea tells me not to. And because it's fine glass, I'm doing controlled fractures and it's glass, it's naturally occurring volcanic glass. I don't want to breathe any of that stuff in.
Yeah, it's probably not smart to be breathing glass into your lungs.
No, and no, it's not. I'm told this. And
okay.
My cat wants in the house and I'm going to say no. You probably hear meowing off to the side. I could tell I was drilling deer antler because I could smell deer antler in this mouth, which it is time to replace it. All right, let's dip it down. I'm going to move this this arm right here and get a little bit closer.
Okay, you're not looking at your picture at all.
Huh?
You were not looking at the wood piece at all. You need to scoot down more.
No, I know that. I'm just dragging the arm so you can get a closer look as I nap it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, there we go.
So we start off with let me look at the right piece of antler here. Now this is called pressure flaking because I am putting pressure on there.
There's two types: pressure flaking and percussion. Percussion's where you take a larger piece of stone or antler and a knob, and you hit away at it and knock chunks off. This is where you're actually doing direct pressure, since pressure flaking. So I've got a rough general shape to this. I want to put in notches. There's a little bit of a bend to it, so I'm going to add this part. You got a good angle?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take this part that's kind of bigger. I'm going to use the metal piece because I don't have any elkhorn or anything big enough to do this. So I'm kind of cheating, and I'm using metal right now, which still has the intended part, but I got, like I said, in the antler I don't want to dig out. It's a lot of obsidian that just got knocked away right there. So I'm doing a general shape. I'm knocking off bigger parts to get the general shape of the arrowhead. See that obsidian just flying around. I got some big flakes right here.
Wow.
So you see how it's coming together?
That's cool.
Right there, right there. It's kind of funny. I like to tell the story of one time when I was taking a group of anthropologists and naturalists down Canyon Country in Utah, and we're visiting chip sites, which we will actually see a cool tour of one tonight. And I'm taking around, and I said, "Hey, what's the difference between this and the front of my garage on a couple days a week? 1,000 years." They're like, yeah. I'm like, "No, dude, I make arrowheads." And then one says, "Yeah, whatever." Then he hands me a piece of jasper. We were in BLM land. Hands me a piece of jasper. Goes, "Here, do something with that." And I went, "Okay." Took a tent stake, flat rock, napped an arrowhead. And he's like, "Oh my god!" I went, "Dude, what do you think?"
You're like, I told you, you don't listen to me.
Yeah, I got a thick piece right here. I'm trying to get a big chunk off right there. Now, normally guys will wear gloves and work this way. I'm doing a very unusual technique that I work with it opened, just because I like to get the flakes on it. So anybody who's a napper or seen videos, they're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I went, "Well, this is what I do. I like to see what I'm doing, and I actually get better leverage working this way." That is a lot of obsidian in my lap. Okay, you starting to see the shape of it?
Yeah. That's
So I'm
cool.
going to work on a little bit here. People love it. I'll sit there and I'll nap an arrowhead in front of me like a powwow, and they're like, we carry on a whole conversation. They're like, all of a sudden, they're like, take a minute, and they're like, "Dude, that's an arrowhead." I went, "Yeah." Okay, so we've got that general shape. Let's work on that point right here a little bit so we get a good point to it. And this stuff's nasty. Obsidian is the sharpest stone, but it's also the most fragile because it is glass.
Mhm.
But it's a great material to learn on. But it's kind of like bull riding. It's not if, but when it will bite you. Okay. So how's that looking?
That looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I got a kind of a bulge right here. So let me tape that down a little bit. I got some hair in my mask.
That's not fun.
Yeah. Okay, you see that? I just knocked off a big piece, so I'm starting that point starting to look really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's getting a lot thinner.
Mm-hmm.
More stabby like.
More stabby, sharp, pointy object. So we got that general shape going on the arrowhead now.
I see that. That's cool.
Yeah, I got a little bit more here to work on. What's really neat is, like, I go to sites where you can see guys at a chip site and you still see their flakes around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Working hundreds or 1,000 years ago, and you're like, dude, I can actually tell from a chip site if the person making it 1,000 years ago or whenever was left-handed or right-handed. It makes it a little bit more interesting and personal when you can read that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's getting kind of straight there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a good shape on this one. We got some good flakes getting there. So on this one, to make it good, we want to start working on this part. What kind of arrowhead do you think I should make on this back end? Concave, expanding, or what? Expanding stem, or should I do notches?
Let's do notches.
Okay. So I'm gonna get it straight right here. Because it's good enough I can get anything in. There's a little bit of blood right there. I got a little cut.
Oh, man.
I'm bleeding for our audience.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah,
so Maya's asking, where do you find the materials for arrowheads, James?
A lot of places.
Is that something you want to share online?
I can totally share it. Gem and Mineral shows.
Okay.
Look at that great flakes. Remember those flakes you saw on the pictures on the online?
Yeah.
We're starting to get those really cool flakes now there too. If you can see that I don't know how it's coming out on Facebook, but
I can
we're
see
starting to get those really cool flakes right there.
I can see a little bit of the little bit of the kind of rounded kind of divots out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're getting right now. So let me take more of this part out. Material, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you have a stone and you can slab it or knock a piece off, because in the old days, if you had like a big boulder, you take what's called a hammer stone and you knock off flakes. And then you get a good flake right there that's already got the shape. You just remove the excess and you got an arrowhead. It's
So,
gonna be fairly straight.
so I have a question for you. Could you do this with tiger's eye?
Yes,
Because
it's not the greatest. It's not a hard enough stone, actually.
really, because tiger's eye, like we got a big slab of it, and I'm like, it was seriously a huge slab. It's like 8 or 9 inches by like 6 or 7 inches, and it's like 2 inches thick. I'm like, how could anyone cut this? I mean, it's like seriously a really hard piece of rock.
Well, the thing is that not all rocks are different. You have to have a grain to it and it's solid. That's why you hear your flints, your cherts flake better. I think honestly, I don't think tiger's eye is solid enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, marble actually doesn't do the job, but like basalt, I was kind of surprised about that, but I could see it depending on how solid the basalt is.
Yeah.
There's actually some stones like over in Texas called novaculite.
Mhm.
You actually have to temper the rock like you temper metal.
Mm-hmm.
You have to heat the rock up and temper it just like a metal does to be able to work it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting the general shape in the back end. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to notch it a little bit. It's going to be kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little bit of shape in here.
Wow, Kelly Jo said on her horseback trip in Truman Meadows, she saw oodles of obsidian and came across arrowheads on the trail.
Not surprised. I think Kelly Jo probably took that. Kelly Jo, did you take that trip last year?
I've never seen arrowheads in like finding arrowheads ever.
Surprisingly, I never had it either.
Really?
I've seen pits and points, but I don't go looking for it. Here's the thing about it. People used to go collecting arrowheads, and they still do. You're looking at quasi illegal. It's considered an archaeological find.
Oh yeah.
And if you pick up an arrowhead, leave it there. It's been there. Let the future generations also enjoy it and see it there, because there's less activity and interaction if we pick up arrowheads, and the future generations don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that as a treasure. It's part of the landscape. It's part of the history. Let it be.
Yeah.
And then two, again, there's the legality of it. It's federal law. It's considered an archaeological site. You don't leave it there. All right. What do you think of that first notch?
That's pretty cool.
Yep. All right. Let's get the next one going. This could be a little bit rougher. I mean, I could spend some more time, but we're going to definitely get a workable arrowhead out of this.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that when the people that were making these arrowheads back in the past, if they accidentally chipped it too much and knocked a point off of it or knocked a corner off of the bottom piece that you're working on right now, so be like, oh,
They're
let's
inventing new cuss words if they do.
Huh?
They're inventing new cuss words. All right. You see that? What's that look like? What kind of notch do you think that looks like?
That looks like a notch.
Yeah, it's kind of rough because it's really thick on here, and I'm kind of speeding through the arrowhead making process, but that is a very workable arrowhead.
Cool.
So what do you think, folks? What do you think, Svea? Should I do a little bit more, or you think we got a good shape?
I think we got a good shape.
I think we do too. I'm just going to do one more flake right here. There's been plenty of times I want to make a long piece, and I'm like 3/4 done. I did this on a Facebook Live once, and I was not with a spearhead. I did one little chip. Thing broke in 3 pieces. I'm going, all right, folks, I'm going to stop the video for a couple minutes because I need to go express myself.
So
folks, we got an arrowhead.
Kelly Jo said that 2 years ago she went on a mule pack trip to see Mustangs. Maya says, very interesting, really interesting. Kelly saying nice. Carolyn saying looking great.
Awesome. Okay, so I just got done with that piece. I'm going to go inside. And Svea, if you want to go ahead and talk about napping a little bit more, I will be right into the office.
So let's see here. So during napping, right? So after, remember I told you, you like close your eyes and you breathe in and out slowly. And you breathe out slowly and you just relax. And when you open your eyes, you've napped. I mean, how great is that, right? Right. Okay, let's see here. So that's the story about napping, guys. I don't know. What did you think? What did you think? Did you like my story napping?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let me get the gallery view going here on the computer. All right. So that's the arrowhead.
Yes, very nice. Very
Very
nice.
cool. Oh yeah. Why are you foggy?
Maybe you have a brain fog. Oh, it's not brain fog.
I was still safe from this arrowhead.
That's a very large arrowhead.
Should I show off one of my favorite arrowheads? Because I don't usually collect them, but if I really like a piece, I'll buy it for myself. Usually, otherwise, I'm trying to turn it over, pay the bill, but this is some piece that's really extraordinary. I will keep it. And should I go ahead and show my opal one?
Yeah.
Let me bring it up. Okay, give me a second here. All right, folks, what we're going to show is when I was at a powwow here about, probably, let's see, 2002. So this had to have been about 14 to 16 years ago. I'm at a powwow up in Ridgecrest, and there's this guy up there named Doug Carner, who is an amazing napper. Not the sleepy kind, the kind spelled with a K. And he makes what's called bird points. Bird points are arrowheads that are very small, designed for hunting small game, like squirrels, whatnot.
Yeah, because you don't use an arrow that's the size that's on your wall behind you to hunt a bird.
That actually is about 7 inches long obsidian point. It's ridiculously long. It's actually too big to be a practical use for stone blade.
Actually, it looks like it's about 3 feet long in your video.
Yes, the power of Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get this one up. Let me show. This is a matter of fact, it's sitting right here. That's a bird point.
Okay.
That's made of Cooper PD opal. Doug Carner made this. He showed it to me.
Do you have a photo of it up close?
It's coming up right now.
Okay.
Okay. So folks, be prepared to be amazed.
Ooh.
That thing is pretty.
Wow.
And you saw from when I was showing up, it ain't very big. It's about the size, it's about the width of a quarter.
Uh-huh.
And Doug showed this to me. He goes, hey, look at this. I want to show this to you. And the dude's just a phenomenal napper.
Wow.
All the bird points. And so he paid for his Harley.
Fire in there.
Yeah, the fire in it's amazing.
Fire in there. That's beautiful.
Cooper PD opal. His dad was a miner.
Wow. That is really beautiful.
Oh yeah. So the dude comes up and he's like, take a look at this. I'm going, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is amazing. Dude, you're not getting this back. He's like, I went, I love this. I do. I mean, I'm keeping it. I'm not selling this sucker. He goes, you want to trade? He goes, okay. I went, how much? He goes, well, it's opal, 400. I mean, it's a nice piece. I went, I have no problem paying that. You want cash, part cash, trade? What do you want? He goes, well, I'll trade. I went, okay. And he goes, and he's real timid. And he's looking at this like really nice piece of old silver I had. And he's looking at like really high-end pieces. It doesn't take much quickly to add up to $400. And this is 15 or so years ago. And he's like, this is okay. I went, dude, yes. I'm thinking I can make money, but I want that opal point. He's like, you really want that opal point? When I'm in love with this thing.
It's really beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing. I've had people from the Smithsonian look at that going, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring it out to him, but that I got to show. We're talking about I got to show the opal point. What's amazing is opal's such a soft stone. The fact that, dude, it's like napping butter. It is so soft. It
breaks. Oh, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
if opal gets too cold, it actually will just break.
Yeah, it's such a soft stone. Anybody that can nap that is tantamount to a gem cutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I have an owie from napping the arrowheads. I have a little bleedy spot owie.
That's not
I'm gonna
good.
wake my mom up and have her kiss my boo-boo. All right.
Oh,
so we talked about, I talked a little about chip sites. Should we take a quick tour of a chip site?
Okay, so James, we're running out of time.
Yeah, we are. It's a 3-minute video.
Okay. All right. So let's watch it.
We can talk. We can do a follow-up next week briefly with this. And like I said, it's a carryover anyways.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to give you a tour. Now, last September, a lot of you know I like to go up to Utah and take a tour of, I like to tour, it's called Lapid Stillwater Canyons National Park. And I put together a little video, what's called a chip site. And this is going to explain a lot about the beginning process of making arrowhead. You saw the end process once we get the material. and I'll talk probably a little bit about hammerstones. Here it is on the spot.
Really quick, James, I just want to say,
Yes.
Vivian said that the farmers in Indiana still plow up arrowheads in the fields. And the
Yeah.
best time to hunt for arrowheads is in the spring after the first plow.
Yep, I have some friends that do that. Have showed me points that they've collected to this day, and they talk about like that. I mean, just think about them. Any area where you're around Cahokia, the Mound Builder territory, you're going to find arrowheads in those fields, especially in a floodplain. Just imagine the activity that built up that many arrowheads over millennia.
Yeah.
Did that. It's pretty amazing. All right. This is a site in Utah. It's very arid. It's going to be different in other parts of the country, but you get a great idea of a tour of a chip site. This is a chip site around what's called Turk's Head. So we have right here is a chip site with various jasper right here. And you can see where the old ones have come along and knocked off flakes of these stones. And they knock off parts like this using a hammerstone. And you can see debris all over the place and some flakes over here. And they take these, collect the flakes, and go back to where they have some village site and the granaries over there at Turk's Head where I'm pointing now. This little cut right here, see right there, is actually a canyon, and down there's the Green River. And the Green River goes around this way and around the other side of Turk's Head and kind of creates like an isthmus over there. But there's a large number of granary sites over there. Over here is actually Newspaper Rock with a large number of petroglyphs that we just visited. And this whole area right here along here is chip sites taken from the cliffs up here above us. And the rocks would come down here. Here we have another chip site with a lot of stones that have been worked and flaked, just mounds of it, piles of it, just absolutely spectacular. And let's take a look at some other sites. Here's another chip site with some decent flakes you can see that have come off, like right here, taking it off. I found some thin ones back a ways on the trail, but there's another chip. But there's another site, hopefully I can find it, that has some very thin flakes. Here we go. Another part that's been taken off this rock right here, chipped away. You can see all this debris right here is all flakes from 1,000 years ago from the ancestral Puebloans that lived here. And we are in Stillwater Canyon. Some beautiful flakes here, taken like that. You can see the jaking off. Here's a nice flake right there. I could actually almost work something into that. Too much of a bend, but just some beautiful pieces. And just think about just how many years and generations sat here collecting stones and knapping this to make this debris field. It is absolutely incredible. All this just chip site, just absolutely incredible. Here's a flake that friend Bob just found. Nice flake right there. They would take the rocks like a hammerstone on these bigger rocks, like right there on that jasper, and knock off, try to get flakes like this. This one's kind of workable, but you get a nice flat piece like that, take it back, nap that into an arrowhead, but just absolutely beautiful. Let's put that back where we found it, right over here. Just absolutely amazing. Here's another stone where they worked it. Taking flakes off of here, there, all the breakages. I mean, that doesn't happen naturally. And just amazing. They actually touched this and worked it. Just amazing. Bob, you just got done visiting Newspaper Rock. What are your plans now?
Back to my boat.
Ah, me too. Back to the boat over there. All right, so that was a tour of a chip site. You can tell I was a kid in a candy store on that one.
That was really
I
cool.
mentioned hammerstone, which they use a larger stone to knock off flakes, which you saw very similar to when I started that obsidian piece here a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool. Turk's Head is Disneyland for James. James is like, it's like, I'm gonna seriously say, I'm gonna compare it. It's Israel to me. It's the Holy Land that is so tangible, the old ones there, that I'm just like, I am just so humbled to be there. It's just chills up my spine. James's happy place. Like Svea in Purple Haze.
Eating zebra popcorn.
Yeah, I ate some. I still have a New York candy chocolate thing. I eat the dark chocolate at night on Fridays to help keep me up. So that is the collection of our presentation arrowheads. Do we want to go on overtime? We don't have much left. Do we want to do overtime a little bit?
I don't know, James. We gotta keep it. We gotta be good. We have 4 minutes.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll do a little follow-up with it next week, but next week's show is stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me get next week's video lined up for that, and we'll talk about next week. But folks, there's so much we could do about arrowheads. We could talk about arrows. Svea and I are talking about bringing this into a future show in the next few weeks, just to talk about the types of arrows to make, and that can be done with the stone arrowheads. So this might be a precursor to that. All right, let's go ahead and introduce, since we said this week's a lead into next week. Let's go ahead and show off next week's show. Ready, Svea?
Yeah, what's next week's show, James? Tell us.
Rocky Bling Bling Show. Yes, folks, we're doing a Rocky Horror Picture Show theme a little bit. We're talking about minerals, the kind of stuff that can make pretty rocks for jewelry and whatnot, and pretty beads.
We're going to talk about all those really pretty stones that when people say rock hounds, they're thinking about like all those really pretty rocks that are all kinds of pretty colors, like purple,
turquoise, purple turquoise.
Purple,
that's right.
Turquoise, shiny browns that are reflective,
like tiger's eye.
Yeah, or the rocks are like frozen water in time.
Or pretty opals. You actually got opals in Joshua Tree. All right, let's go and see if we got any comments from our audience right now that we need to cover.
Woohoo!
Wendy Hodge says, very astute of you. When we talked earlier about the nights to say, nee. Liked seeing the napping. Thank you, Kelly Jo Miller. Maya, woohoo. And why do you have to keep it an hour? Maya, why do you have to keep it an hour to another Arrowhead show? Maya, we got to keep consistent.
Okay, so Maya, let me tell you a quick story. And we'll not go over this hour. Okay. So we had suggestions from major network industry producers. And they said, you got to keep your show at an hour. No overtime. That's why we started doing 1 hour shows and keeping to the 1 hour, because we're trying to really form our show into a special 1 hour show.
And soon it will be picked up by the major networks on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, exactly.
Major networks of Elk Crack Traders and Dancing Bear.
Exactly.
We try to keep it an hour because it's too easy to go 2.5. And we did the first few months we were on the show. We were doing it. And we would wake up dead on Saturday morning. If we got shows now, it's a little much. We got to keep it an hour.
All right. So James, hey, we have 2 minutes.
What are we going to do for that 2 minutes?
Why don't we dance?
Okay.
But wait, you got to do something first, right?
Closing credits?
Yeah.
We still have a minute to closing credits. I want to talk to Wendy and Vivian and Maya. I want to hang out.
Dude! Okay.
We got to hang out. Tell me a joke.
But okay, I understand. I just did
an hour today. We're still.
Hey, I just did a reactment. Did you see it? I'm like, okay. So let me start my act. Dude.
That's my reaction when you tell us we're going to do another knitting episode.
I just did a Maya comment on the show.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought that was a reenacted meeting. You saying, let's do a knitting episode during our meetings, and I'm going.
I just reenacted a Maya comment.
Got it. Cool. It's that time. You're pointing at me. I'm getting nervous, dude. All right. We got to end it.
Okay, she says she's laughing her butt off.
And I love your knowledge and sharing of arrowheads such as Clovis.
Okay, let me say it one more time. Laugh my butt off over here. I just reenacted another Maya moment.
Okay, can I try it?
Yeah, I want you to try.
Laughing my butt off.
Popcorn? Here.
Okay.
Here. Use some popcorn. Here. I'm reaching it over here. Take some.
Nom, 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 nom. I think I'm going to do 2 AM nachos tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Right.
go get nachos right now. James, you and I, let's just go.
Seriously, we got to do that as an episode. All right,
Okay.
folks, it's 11.
Yeah, we're going to go get nachos over this, you guys. Join us at the Loco Nacho Shop.
Knuckle Nacho Shop. Svea and I will beat you there.
Yes, we are going right now. As soon as this is done.
Totally, because she's in the next room next to me. Not.
Exactly.
All right, folks, it's time. The alarm's gone off. All right, folks, this has been another episode of Late Night Craft Talk. We'll see you next week. Remember, next week, Rocky Bling Bling Show.
Rocky bling bling.
Rocky Bling Bling. Time. All right, here we go. Cue tap dance. Oh, ain't he cute? Good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.